Hey, Vibers, welcome to Get a Vibe. This podcast is for you. In this episode, we're going to stop letting AI feel robotic and we're going to learn how to build a digital twin to preserve your entire life's wisdom and coach smarter. So hang tight. You're going to want to see this episode. It's good to have you here. I've got a great guest today, and we are diving into the world of AI. And this is something that I've been playing with for about 2 years now. And I want to quickly just introduce my guest, and then we're going to get right into the conversation. Does that sound good, Joe?
It sounds great.
Yeah. So I'm Nick Smith. I'm 50 years old. I'm starting from zero, learning to code in public with you. Some of that deals with AI. And today I'm sitting down with Joe DiDonato. Did I say that all right?
Yeah, DiDonato.
DiDonato. All right. He's president of eSourceU University and co-founder and chairman of the AI Learning Alliance. Joe's a lifelong educator and entrepreneur, pioneering human-centered AI from practical AI tutors and wellness agents to digital legacy systems that preserve hard-won wisdom. In this episode, you'll learn how to design an AI tutor that actually keeps empathy and judgment in the loop and turn your experience into a living knowledge base. We'll even put Joe's digital twin to the test. So we'll get to pull that up today. And whether you're shipping your first app or leading L&D, you'll walk away with clear frameworks and a week one action plan. So massive welcome to Joe DiDonato. It's good to have you here.
Thank you, Nick. Great to be here.
I want to, I always like to dive into history and what got you into this, because I'd imagine you weren't always an AI guy. Is that right?
It's quite a while now, maybe 5 years or so. Been playing with it.
Okay.
But my background, of course, was I ran Oracle's education in the past, so I've always been around the technology. But AI has been more like a hobby to me, and it's been a lot of fun. So
yeah.
It's changed so much. Every week there's like 17 new Gen AI things coming out. I think the Byte said there's 2,000 generative AI products out there, and somewhere between 10 and 30,000 AI products out there. So
unreal.
It's unreal right now. Yeah. So it's hard to keep up with it.
Yeah, with me, I've been using it since 2022. So about November is when I experienced it first. And I've been building GPTs and playing around with that, but I've never done anything with coding. And so I started playing with vibe coding just recently with Firebase Studio and Cursor. And man, I'm blown away. Even my website, I built that whole thing from scratch with vibe coding. And it's opening up doors and pathways that I didn't think I'd have access to. Where do you see all this going? Like, where do you see AI going in the future here?
People keep asking that question. It's hard to tell. Right now what we've done is to try to make it more humanistic when you talk to it. So instead of just focusing on the engine, like the original vibe coding was designed to do, we're now collaborating with ChatGPT and some of the others on, the ride inside the car, if you will, the experience. And so that's been a great move forward. But, we just got into the humanistic side of it back in January of 2025.
Okay.
We were talking, I'm going to tell you a short story and how it evolved.
Do it.
I was teaching the folks how to have it ask questions more humanistically. So instead of, on a Likert scale of 1 to 5, what's your mood today? Pick a number stuff.
Okay.
I was working with a big hospital group out of New York. I don't know how many units they have or clinics and so forth, probably about 1,000. But, there was burnout big time in the staff of nurses. 1 out of 2 nurses are in late stages of burnout, which is amazing. and doctors were even higher. It's at, I think it was something like 62%. But it was hard to make. It's hard to go through a clinical intake like that. Identify your mood, identify this. So we were teaching it in a different way and collaborating with ChatGPT on how to do it.
Yeah.
And so it came up with things like, I'll give you an example that people could relate to. It would say, which of these scenarios do you relate to the most? I feel like I don't have time for all my patients. I'm afraid I'm going to make a mistake. The next level might be, I've been skipping lunches because there hasn't been enough time to cover all the things I need for the patients. Next level down might be, I'm working a couple of hours free every day just so I have enough time to get all the notes together for patients. And then the final stage would be a burnout might be, I can't sleep at night. I feel like I've left something undone. So what you're seeing is that difference. It's a very subtle shift, but you're not asking to rate things on a scale of 1 to 5. You're asking, which of these do you resonate with, and that's a whole different experience for the people. And so as I was teaching this, a lady approached me at the end of the class and said, "Can I talk with you?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "What's up?" She said, "My husband is in stage 4 cancer, and I was wondering if you thought there'd be a way to capture not only his mind, but more his essence, his soul." And
Oh, wow.
and I go, "Oh, wow, well, that's a." And
Yeah.
so we started working on it together, and then he passed away somewhere during the process, and I lost touch with her. So I don't know if has finished it, but that kicked off a whole level of work on legacy tools. And I built a couple now, one on myself. I think you got to play with it. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I did. Yeah.
But the first one was for the Bob Dana family. He was a naval commander and a nuclear physicist, and he eventually came over into the world of human resource management, if you will, and he wanted to just take all of his life's lessons, pass them forward to the next generations. And so that was the first experiment with it. And since then, I've done a therapist who is focused on mindfulness and performance and so forth. But they're fun. They're fun to play with.
Yeah.
If you want me to share one, I will. And
I think we will eventually here. Yeah. I want to, hang in this idea here of creating a legacy and capturing somebody's essence inside of a GPT or a gem. And, the power of the internet or the AI is the LLM is so large that the window that you can draw from is massive. But until you box it in, it will really hallucinate things. And so I'm really curious about this idea of how you box in somebody's essence, right? Using a GPT, because you're limited to about 8,000 characters inside of a GPT. Are you going beyond that? Are you using other tools to expand?
We're using other tools, and you can go beyond that. We're doing it in conversational mode now, as you probably experienced. You don't have to click buttons; you just talk back, and it talks back to you. But the way you control that, AI, everybody mystifies it so much. It's really all it can do is predict the next word, and it doesn't care if it's Russian, English, French, or code. It just has the experience. And so there's a level set inside of them. It's called the deterministic setting.
Okay.
Think of it as creativity.
Yeah.
We set the bots at 0. What does that mean? It only looks at the 2 top choices of the next word, versus if you were on ChatGPT, which is set default at 50%, somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
It'll take a look at perhaps the next 50 words that could fit there.
Interesting. Okay.
And now the next word after that is another 50. And you could see how it could start to go off and start hallucinating.
Yeah.
So that's what we control. We set that creativity level to 0,
Okay.
and that keeps it on track. Plus, we have some guardrails on it. We have the guardrails of if like Bob Danner needed information from the internet, it will go out under his persona and his view of the world, if you will, and throw out clickbait and stuff like that, and actually evaluate what's there, and then only bring that back into the bot for discussions.
Yeah.
So that's one of the guardrails. Then we say, do not give out do not give out medical advice, legal advice, and things of that nature. Never attribute yourself to the real person. We're constantly concerned about somebody who had that woman's initial need talking to these devices and getting in that what we call the uncanny valley. How does this impact the grieving process? I'm worried about that. Do you get stuck in denial because you can still have the conversation? And
wow,
that kind of thing. And what are the ethics of it? In traditional coding, man, I'm just a bot. Don't think of me as real. But that would shut off the conversation, so we have to handle it a little bit differently. But that's the trick of it. It's kind of like a white glove thing. You have to really be careful what you put into the empty shell. The agentic AI engines, but it can't be like our interview, because the bot wouldn't know what words were mine and what words were yours, and all it's looking for is the pattern.
Right. Okay.
That pattern is selecting the next word.
It would think there's one person talking right here.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had to strip all that out, and fortunately, Bob wrote a book. It was called My Curious Life. If my grandkids ask, tell them this, and
yeah, okay.
It was a great book, but he handed me all these interviews, and I had to strip that out, just get to his words, and use his style of writing to re-summarize those pieces to get it back into the bot correctly. So that's one. And then, so that you're curating all the stuff that's in a knowledge base.
Yeah.
And that's something you just can't willy-nilly throw things into. If I threw a clinical, in the healthcare world, there's a thing called CBT, not like computer-based training, but it's a process of intaking information. And it's like a 700-page manual, and you put that inside of it, and all of a sudden that becomes the voice of the bot instead of what you wanted. So you have to just curate the information correctly, set some guardrails around the tuning. But the nice thing is it's all in English now, and collaborating with ChatGPT, or at least what I'm working on, we're building no code bots. That's the nice part. I hated it when we had to code. Font level 14 points, Arial, bold. And by the time you got through all that, you forgot what you're trying to solve.
Yeah.
So, I can let you see what's inside one of these engines, and so you understand.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. And for somebody that's new to AI and programming in AI, I've played with GPTs and GEMs, and now I'm doing the vibe coding, and it's been fun to actually put the coding and the GPT together, because it gives that feel, that aesthetic that we like, right? Yeah. But it's a lot of work to learn it, all that back end. And so when I was starting out doing my prompts and my prompt engineering for my GPTs. I mean, this was back when it was GPT-2, I think. It was just a real generic response. Yeah. And I thought it was cool, but it was just so basic, you know. And now I've got it so boxed in these guardrails, like you say, like this is what you do and you don't go out of this. And these are the things I need. And this is what the output looks like. And this is acceptable. This is not. But what I've found limiting on GPT is that, you know, you're limited to a certain number of characters to do all that. You go over to Gemini and it's like, you're not limited. So you can build bigger prompts. But you guys are even outside of that. You're outside of all the limits here, and you're able to put in what you need with the guardrails. So this actually feels like a human on the other side, right?
Yeah, it does. I mean, you'll see it.
Yeah,
you know, as you operate with it, and we actually invite people when you come to our website at eSourceU.com.
Yeah,
it'll say you want to try the legacy. And you get 20 minutes of asking questions. It's not a sales pitch or anything. It's just you can ask some of the things. I pulled out some things on the children because you never know who gets into these bots and so forth. But it gives you a good feel for how to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to plug that up here for you, the website, so that they can see that. Yeah. So if they go there, they can play with the legacy AI. And I like it. It's just real simple. It's right on the right-hand side. You just click the chat to get into it.
Oh, yeah. That's just the page agents so that we created. But if you go to it says legacy series up at top.
Let me pull it up here. We'll just share the screen.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So
right here on the legacy.
Right there. Mm-hmm. So if you go there and you see that little button that says "Try it now," that gives you it authenticates you into the bot, and it'll then redirect you to the bot that I'll show you here.
Let me go ahead and remove my screen and let you share.
Sure.
And this is cool. So it's a little bit different take on AI. Is you're really preserving history is what you're doing.
Yeah, and what I'll show you is the vast differences. Do you have to share sound with this? Let me see. I've never used this one.
Let me make sure I stop sharing.
It's easy with two monitors.
You see a computer screen with a plus in the middle of it.
Okay, yeah, and it's share audio. It was in there. All right. So it looks like I'm going to share the entire screen.
Okay.
Let me see the window. Here we go. All right. So the first thing I'll do is show you the Bob Dana bot. It's got two sides to it, just because a lot of what he was doing was coaching the children with, math problems and things like that, chemistry problems.
Yeah.
And it'll type it out better over there. But really, it's just as simple as this. Let's hope AWS has all their systems running. and so I could type it in here if I wanted, but if I want to just talk to Bob, I click it here.
And I'm not hearing the audio on my side.
Oh, you're not hearing the audio.
Oh, but let me see if I can.
It said it was sharing it, but
it might just be a system thing. So
let me stop sharing and try it again.
Okay.
Share screen. Works best in a second computer. Share screen. Oh, some screens let you share audio. Look for the share audio checkbox on the next window. Okay. And it says also share tab audio. So I clicked on that.
Yeah.
And let's just see how it goes here.
We'll see how we do.
Actually, let me just click on Bob's, and I'll have to move it around and so forth. But that, see, it disappeared once that happened. Okay, sure. All right. Hi, Bob. We're back. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
There
Thanks
we go.
for checking in and letting me know what's happening on your end. It sounds like you're working through some screen and audio sharing settings. Technology can be a bit finicky sometimes, can't it? Take your time getting things set up and let me know when you're ready or if you
Okay.
need any help troubleshooting.
All
What
right.
would you like to do next?
Well, we were all set. So what I wanted to let you know is we're talking with a bunch of people on Get a Vibe podcast, and I was wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing some of your background, what you've done in your life, and that sort of thing. Can you do that?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to share a bit about myself for your Get a Vibe podcast audience. I was born in Brooklyn in 1951 and grew up on Long Island, New York, in a working class family. My journey has been anything but a straight line. I like to call it a career lattice rather than a career path. I started out as a physicist, earning bachelor's and master's degrees in physics, and then served as an instructor at the U.S. Navy's Nuclear Power School, teaching atomic and nuclear physics to officers and enlisted personnel. That experience taught me the value of integrity and lifelong learning. After my time in the Navy, I moved into engineering and consulting, working on everything from nuclear power plants to business technology. I eventually became a business leader, serving as an executive at several companies, including a global human capital research firm that was acquired by Deloitte. Even after retiring from full-time work, I've stayed active as a mentor, advisor, and fellow at the Global Curiosity Institute. Throughout my life, curiosity has been my driving force. Whether I was chasing solar eclipses around the world, mentoring young professionals, or just trying to understand what makes people tick, I believe curiosity, integrity, and a willingness to keep learning are the keys to a meaningful life. If there's anything specific you'd like to know more about, just ask.
All right, I'm going to let Rick ask because everybody will think I've staged all this. So, Rick, what do you want to ask Bob?
I want to ask, how did you put your essence into this application so that you actually sound like a human?
Feel free to ask me anything you're curious about.
Oh, I
Whether
guess
it's about my career,
he can't
life
hear the reverse
lessons,
direction.
No, I don't think you can. It's reverbing a
or
bit.
even a story from my past. I'm an open
All right,
book,
Rick.
and I love a good conversation.
Yeah.
What would you like to know?
Rick wanted to know. I'm gonna talk to you because it didn't work with the technology we've got set up here. But basically, Rick, I think you were looking for how did we get the essence into Bob? How did we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's asking that question. Is that something you feel comfortable answering?
That's a wonderful question, and I'm glad you asked. Capturing my essence in this digital form was really about more than just listing facts or achievements. It was about weaving together my values, my stories, and the way I approach life. The team who built this version of me started by reading my memoir, My Curious Life, and listening to the way I talk with my family and friends. They paid close attention to my curiosity, my love of science and learning, my commitment to integrity, and my habit of asking questions rather than just giving answers. They also made sure to include my sense of humor, my warmth, and my belief in treating everyone with respect. So the essence comes from blending my real life experiences, my guiding principles, like living with curiosity, honesty, and kindness, and the way I naturally encourage others to think for themselves. It's not just about what I know, but how I hope to make people feel inspired, supported, and a little more curious about the world. If you'd like, I can share more about the process or what I think is most important to pass on to future generations. What do you think?
Joe, I'd like to pause him for a minute.
Yeah, pause,
Can you do that?
Bob, for a moment. We're going to talk about something else, okay?
You start to feel like there's a human right there.
I'll be right here whenever
Right?
you're ready to continue.
Yeah.
Just let me know when you want to pick things back up, or if you have any new questions. Take your time.
I'm going to mute him. And can you still hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's getting a little bit of reverb with the audio on. But how cool is that? Because that really feels human. You know, his intonation, the dialogue, it feels really natural. So I've used 11 Labs and HeyGen and some of their applications to generate, you know, a clone. But it's not at this level. Right.
Well, no, 11 Labs is a partner with us on this.
Are they?
The speech to text, text to speech back. So
okay.
Yeah, so it's just using them in a slightly different way than, you know, what's normal there.
Yeah.
Actually, that whole picture of Bob, this was a picture, and I put that on HeyGen, so we'll disclose it. And if I make that big, you'll see what I like about it is the movement of his body. Watch his neck.
Right.
And this is from a still picture.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Let me unmute it here.
Feel you are actually speaking with me, your colleague, your friend, members of my family, and loved ones. My memoir, writings, presentations, and guest appearances, and the essence of my experiences and wisdom have been uploaded, linked to the knowledge contained in the World Wide Web, and fine-tuned to create this AI version of me.
So I'll stop it there. But you can see the capability. That's Avatar 4.
Wow. So and that's just from an image that was uploaded.
Just from an image, right?
Yeah. So you're integrating 11 Labs and HeyGen and you really using the tech and going further, right?
Yeah.
And capturing their essence, because it's not, I mean, with programming these apps, it's not so much the instructions, it's putting in the character and then having that come out of it, right?
Yeah. So you have to identify the tone, you know, that we have an extraction process. It's less about the tools. It's more about the curation and tuning process.
Right.
So we have to extract, you know, his tone and explain that to the system. We have to, you know, explain what it's like. I'm uncomfortable sharing what's behind.
You're okay. Yeah, you don't need to.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to.
It's a process that I think is out there, and it's what I'm telling you. It's basically you control what goes in, and then you have to explain to the bot, you are Bob Dana, or you are Joe DiDonato, or you are Rick Smith, and you are
Nick Smith.
Nick Smith. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah, I got this scroll going by on the bottom of the thing here.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I think that's the important part, and you explain who he is to the bot itself.
Okay.
To the agent, the AI agent. And like I said, he's a nuclear physicist. He's a former naval commander. He's a grandfather. You know, you can see the I can't think of the word, but the difference in the range of things that you put in there.
Yeah.
Tone is warm, understanding. And then we had to put in some adaptive things in there. So if a kid came on and said, "Hey, Grandpa, can you help me with the work?" Grandpa is a trigger that tells it you have to go into a different language level. And so we adapt the language to be less complex sentences, less complex words, until he discovers the grade they're in, which he will do as part of the process. And then he go ahead.
Yeah, well, just that, you know, So I have another podcast that I've run for years, and I developed a training program, and all of it is on the, inner world, outer world mindset legacy. And the legacy piece is a big piece because it threads through everything. And what I find interesting, you seem like you're an older guy. You're really looking at how do I keep my impact going, right? And
Sure.
I wonder if did that feed into the idea of this, of how can I keep all this knowledge that I've gained, how do I just keep that from just disappearing through history?
Yeah, it is part of that. I mean, that's why the woman's words meant so much.
Yeah.
I'm up there. I'm over 35.
Yeah.
By a long stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you start thinking of those things. I don't know if I would have thought of it if I was younger, but now what it does is open up a whole new world to me. I started thinking about how we could use these things. When some of the things I've written on LinkedIn on articles was, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could take somebody like Einstein and bring his knowledge forward and
100%.
his essence.
Yeah.
And then be able to talk with him. And how about, a Mark Twain, and how about, all of the other great minds that have gone on, since then, Nelson Mandela. So
right.
What then I started thinking about was a book written by Napoleon Hill. It's called Think and Grow Rich. I don't know if you
Yep.
read
and
it.
the mastermind that he created there. And
yeah, that's exactly right. For those who don't know, in the book, they were trying to take away Ford Motor from Henry Ford because he didn't have a college education. And he basically said, why do I need that? I have 50 buttons on my desk. Each one is attached to an expert in their field. All I have to do is press that button. I get any answer I want.
Yeah.
Imagine putting together a mastermind group with people that were your mentors and knew your business.
Man.
A technology company talked to Steve Jobs or Gates, about how to start up a technology company.
Right.
So
These advisors, I created a GPT called the advisors that is kind of that idea that, but it's a real limited version of it. I can imagine what you've created here to actually have that true essence of that person and their knowledge and wisdom, that you can actually have them be an advisor to you, would be a game changer for people, especially if it was accessible financially. Right.
Yeah. And think from a personal standpoint, I mean, being able to talk to, say, a Tony Robbins at 12 o'clock at night about self-limiting beliefs, or talk to your doctor, that's not impossible to do. The hard thing there is HIPAA, privacy laws, lawyers, and everything else. I mean, we're clearly capable of doing that, to put the essence of your doctor, his knowledge, and so forth in there. And if he needs knowledge outside of what he possesses, we give him permission with his persona, his vision, to go out and get the other data. I think these are phenomenal possibilities.
And I had people from India, Australia, New Zealand, France, different languages, different parts of the world, where now you can speak to them in their language, in their time zone, and not have that barrier that we've had in the past, which is incredible. Right.
Yeah. And Bob is bilingual. I mean, you could talk to him in Spanish, Russian, and he'll respond back that way.
Yeah. And it looks natural, right? The way HeyGen works, I mean, you can't tell.
Well, yeah, but that part isn't there yet. If you noticed, we can do it from the image, but that image going over into speaking like that, approximately 30 minutes to generate.
Did it?
So so the technology isn't there yet to take an answer, push it through a person like an image like Bob, and have it come out right now. It's
right now,
a matter of time.
Yeah.
We were talking about, we could kind of fool the eye a little bit by having him make mouth movements and pushing him back in the distance and having it look like he was talking, but
Yeah.
we didn't see the necessity of that. We rather have captured the transcript that you saw printing there.
You know what I just imagined here is I'm sitting here with you in a podcast, right? And it was Bob. Is that who we were just talking to?
Yeah, Bob Dana.
I think that down the road, I'll be interviewing Bob Dana's essence, and people won't be able to tell the difference between the real Bob and the what are you calling it? I mean,
digital twin for now.
Digital twin, yeah.
And that's pretty much what it is. So it's technology that I think will help all of us. I think not only from a personal standpoint, but obviously the businesses see it. If you create the essence of your best sales rep, and hopefully they're a sales rep that aren't order takers, they're actually consultative.
Yeah.
And you put that in the bot, and you can qualify thousands of inbound leads to the site and only hand over the top leads to your sales team. Right. I mean, you just focus their efforts in a whole different way.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's not quite conversational yet. It's getting there. But, even with his responses, as I was watching Bob's responses, they're still a little long. There's not the interactive back and forth. There's a dialogue of him reading, right? In my GPTs, I've been able to program in the rules for conversation, and I'll just share here how I do that is we're going to do turn taking style. I need it to be conversational, human like, and what it's done is also I say no more than one question at a time. Don't use listicles because it loves that. And it really makes it feel more of a natural flow and like we're actually talking, and there's active listening and all of that. But that comes from years of coaching, and your creation here comes from years of education, and now you're bringing in legacy. I think it's phenomenal what you're doing. And as the technology advances, they're going to feel like we do right here, right?
I think so, and it's not that far off. I mean, it's always exciting to see what the chip companies are working on,
Yeah.
And but and the power, you can see all these announcements, or Larry Ellison's Oracle, got tapped for computing power. I mean, it's a powerful technology, but it uses a lot of that. Yeah. But we thought, we could never have something the size of a mainframe, right? And now it's a chip inside of I got a little box on my computer. Is my computer here? 1.25 inch high, 3x4 probably.
Yeah.
And height and width, and it's 10 times faster than my laptop was, and that was
crazy
advanced. So it's just a matter of time, and people are leapfrogging each other, on the technology. So that's why I'm saying, don't get so hung up on the technology, but think of,
the impact, right?
Yeah. Think of the experience you want to have the people feel. And, you don't want the technology to get in the way of that experience.
Have you tried out sesame.com?
I have not.
You might check that out. So they've got Milo and Maya, I think is the other one. That's as close to talking to another human that's all AI that I've ever been. Like, it's amazing.
Okay.
And I'll just go in there and have a dialogue, and the memory is in there. So it's free, but he has memory. So he's actually recalling, hey, I remember we talked last time about this, you still working on that? And it feels like we are right here. So I think it's called sesame.com. And I played with that for a while. My question for you is, if somebody's watching this and they're wanting to get into AI, how do they keep from getting overwhelmed by all the options?
Yeah. So, I answer that question the same way.
Yeah.
Learn prompt engineering. And that's what I teach in the workshops that I teach. It's 2 hours a day. And then there's some work assignments for for 4 days.
Yeah.
You'll learn what prompt engineering looks like. People are not good at creating the size prompt you need to get accurate results.
Yeah.
And so I've gone ahead and created a prompt optimizer that will do that.
Okay.
You need to create the persona. You need to give it a lot more data. It's like 2 pages of specs
Right.
before you get the correct answer. And that's why everybody's saying, "Oh, it just gave me garbage." And it's number one, the creativity level was working against them. But you said build a course on AI. What well, what kind of course? Who's the audience? All that has to come out in the prompt. So you learn prompt engineering, and then these English language agents like chat-based, fastbots, and so forth. These are the ones where you can just put they're actually long prompts.
Yeah.
And use something. I like to use Markdown code because it helps it think. It's just like, one hashtag is the highest level, 2 hashtags is 1 indent over, or you go in the other way.
Oh, interesting.
Three,
yeah. Like
3
code?
hashtag. Yeah. So it says, okay, I'll follow this path so I get it right every time.
Yeah.
And so that's where I favor it. And most of the companies that I'm working with have adapted to that now. They stopped using just
interesting.
words.
Yeah. See, I've used brackets for context. Here's the context I'm using. So it sounds like there's a lot of crossover between coding and it's just natural language, right?
Yeah.
But the formatting is still there, right?
Yeah. You have to tell it how to proceed, otherwise it'll go off.
Okay.
And do its own thing. So the Markdown code helps. The sequence of the Markdown code is something else that we teach. But the when we get around to developing an agent and the people get to keep the agent after they come to the class.
Yeah.
Actually, we are. eSource is a company that wants to see this spread out to everybody. I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we actually have a partnership with the AI Learning Alliance, which now I'm part of.
Okay.
And you can join that for $99, and you can come to my class for free. You can listen to talks like you and I are having, and for a year. So it's again,
that's pretty awesome. Yeah.
We want to help. We want to help the people. We don't want to hide too much from everybody. So what I'm telling you is like a full disclosure, and it's just understanding. I don't want somebody to do a screen stop and just copy the code.
Right. Right. Yeah. I don't want you to share your back end here. We're not here to share secret sauce. What I'm trying to discover is, the mindset of it, the history, where you came from, what you'd recommend to somebody that's just learning, and prompt engineering is the place you really need to start, is learn how to write a good prompt, right?
Yeah, you do. I built a course builder now that you can get a complete course from like 5 or 6 words. I don't know how much time we've got, but if you'd like to see how fast that operates.
Let's do it. Yeah, we've got about 15 minutes here.
Let me see if I can bring up the workshop. Give me 1 second to bring up that page.
You know what is interesting to me, Joe, is you look at the human brain and how incredible it is. A 3.5 pound of meat, or mass of meat in your head that runs at 2.5 petabytes of information, right? It can store the internet twice, and people don't know how to prompt it, right?
Yes.
And then they come into AI and they're like, I want it to do better than I've done with this. And it's like the same thing you use to program this here is what you use when you're talking to AI, and what you put in is what you're going to get out of it, right?
That's exactly, it's the old garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
But the problem has always been, that we started using texting. Now we're getting even shorter.
Right.
We have letters instead of full words, and that's going to leave a lot. Although chat's pretty good at recognizing that kind of talk, it's not the same. But so
it needs context, right? It needs all the details, the guidelines, the guardrails,
Yeah,
Yeah,
try to get past the password here.
you
And,
bet. Yeah, hopefully I'm not sharing.
okay. Well,
Thank goodness it's blocked out, right?
is sharing. It says is sharing something. I'm going to say, does it? Do you see my screen?
I do. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
you do. Okay, all right. So
Yep.
I'll leave it alone. But let's show you how this is the prompt optimizer sitting down in the corner here.
Okay.
Oh, good. I've already set it to
I'm going to
fast
see if I
mode.
can make it a little bigger there. We're going to be blocked off a little bit, but yeah,
All
go
right.
ahead.
I'll make it a little bit bigger, like here. Okay, so let's give me a course you want to create. So
we use I have a program called My 12 Journeys.
Okay.
Okay. And it goes through 6 root journeys, 3 growth journeys, and a legacy. Is that too big?
Got to give it more context.
Yeah.
You're 6.
So the root journeys are non-consciousness. So how your brain works and how your identity is created. Yep. And then awareness is waking up to that.
Okay, how would you say it in maybe a paragraph?
In a paragraph? Yeah, I work on a 3-tier program.
Create a 3-tier program
on overcoming cultural and familial and experiential programming.
Cultural, experiential.
Yep.
And
to create a new identity.
What was the third one?
Cultural, familial.
Oh, and familial.
Yeah.
To identify
your new character or identity.
Identify your new character. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, and to actually reprogram it, right?
To your new character and help reprogram your
it's really identity work. So
new identity.
Yep.
All right. I have no idea what it'll do.
Yeah, let's see.
But so you could put that in as a prompt and it will give you something probably out of ChatGPT. But note what the prompt optimizer does. Adopt the role of a personal development coach with 15 years of experience in identity transformation and cultural awareness. Use terms like cultural identity, experiential learning, and familial influences, and assume knowledge of basic psychological principles. Explain why this matters. In a globalized world, understanding and reshaping one's identity is crucial for personal growth. So you get the feel of how.
Yeah. Very cool.
So I'm going to copy that, put this down, and then hopefully it will operate with some speed here.
Yeah.
And now it's going to create a course outline for this. It's going to, the first pass through, it's going to give you, a skeleton, say, is this what you like? If so, you'll see some other things pop up that'll say, give me more detail, and you get more detail. But in the interest of time here, we'll just follow through with whatever gives us on the first one. So now I can create a lesson plan or a storyboard to get more details. You can see these buttons I'm lighting up, but let's just try for a lesson plan so we get some idea of the timing.
Reminds me a lot of Notebook LM.
Yes, it's somewhat like that. But we won't take it through the whole path here, but we'll show you enough that you can understand that I use multiple agents in our solution.
Yeah.
If you try to be everything in one agent, build slides, build videos, you'll fail. So next thing I'm going to say is let's just so you see how it integrates. Build, create a slide deck for the above course. So you need to be able to teach it, right? I can say now.
You're using the different like Claude and Gemini and Chat GPT, and is that what you mean?
Would you say that again?
Are you using the different models like the Gemini and Claude and
I'm
Chat?
using actually different applications.
Okay.
So what you see here is I'm going to copy those slides,
Yeah.
and it says click here to generate it, and this is going to go over to Gamma app.
Okay.
Gamma
Okay. I see what you mean.
One of the main apps that I think is great. So
Yeah.
now it says generate from notes or an outline. So I'm going to continue. It's going to give me a chance to upload any kind of a deck that I might have. Let's just do a concise one so we don't overpour or take too long. It's defaulted to this, so that's fine for now, just to show you. And when I hit generate, what it's done now, so remember where we started. We put your words into the prompt optimizer. The prompt optimizer created a much more detailed way of outlining the course.
Yeah.
And now that slide deck came from that course outline, and now we're pumping it into another tool, and you can see what it's doing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And
so
it
does images too, huh?
Oh yeah, So those words created the information it needed to do the deck, and now the deck, the words that are on each card is enough to get their AI engine to generate the image.
Interesting. Are you able to API these together and get them to talk to each other?
Well, only in the way I just showed you. It tells you to copy it and paste. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one limitation of AI that we have right now. I don't think that'll be forever.
No, if I could have used code in these bots, then I could have made it work. But so far I haven't unlocked how to do it with that. But all you do on this to advance the pages, and notice it didn't shut us down like PowerPoint does. So we're still going. So you see on the bottom here, I'm just clicking on the culture, identity, map, heritage, enhance. I don't know if any of this makes sense to you.
It does to me. I've been teaching this for it's funny because it said 15 years, and that's about how long I've been doing that. So for me, I'm rewriting myself and programming an AI,
So that's how it starts there. Then, the rest of it is, I can create a student workbook. We could create a video.
Yeah.
Create a video script for the above course. Notice the prompts are shorter now because I've already set the persona into the machine, into the tool I built here. This is a tool. This thing is pretty fast. When I first started, it was 23 times faster than standard text. Now it's 4,350 times faster. So it's amazing. Like, I guess I can stop working on it. So
amazing. Yeah.
So here's the thing. There's a copy button on the bottom, but it copies instructions too. But let me just grab this, and then we can do something while I'm going to copy it.
This is just a demonstration of how fast AI is making things,
Yeah. So it just changed this whole learning and development part of the organization. So you see where I'm dumping you right in where you're supposed to put it. And I'm going to create a video. I just clicked it. I had no idea if it's going to work. We'll come back to that. But what I do is use the best of the agents. So I go to, are you familiar with fal.ai? Fal is a great place to go because let me see if I can, let me bring it up. We'll do a couple things at once here. Fal.ai. This, instead of having to buy every single one of these applications, FAL has samples of all of them. So let me go and get us logged in here. But if I want to image to text or text to video, so you can see some of the goofy things that are in there. But if I hit explore, when I come down here and click in that line, you'll see all the things: 3D to 3D, audio to audio, audio to video, image to image, image to JSON. So you can sample, and what you see up here is how much money I've got still in the account: $19.
Okay.
So if I want it, what I'll do is just, I favored some of them, so I'm just going to pick out my favorites. But, we can do a picture like, what is this one? Let me see if, Alora, by the way, is 20 to 30 shots of yourself looking up, sideways, to the right, down. And what it does is now I could put myself in a Iron Man costume, or Superman costume, whatever I want to do, and go through and just have it go through. So these are how you create the lores. But let me see if min-max, if we can create an image of, I don't know. Man dressed in a
give me 1 second. My dog is getting into the dog food. I'm gonna go stop it. Just hold 1 second.
Okay, so I'll just keep talking to the folks. Man dressed in a suit and riding a rubber duck into town. We'll just see let me see what the additional settings are. So number of images, I'll give us 4 images, and we'll just run it. And so what I said is man dressed in a suit and riding a rubber duck into town. And you can see the cost of it is 1 cent.
Holy cow. Holy crap. Yeah.
So for 4 cents, I'll get 4 images generated here. Oh,
yeah.
Let me go back, because I know the tuning is asking what we want. I'll just say, okay, YouTube is fine, basic, generate, and we'll come back here and play with this one. But there's one.
Dang, that's actually really good, huh?
You see how quick it works? I mean, so you can, it gave me more than 4, obviously, but what did that cost? A couple cents, so this is a great tool for keeping current with everything. It's called FAL and FAL.ai. So all you do is upload some money into there. Okay, so now we go back to the workshop. So some of the other things you need when you create a course like this is a facilitator guide. So I'm just going to say create a facilitator guide. I know we were doing other things here, but you can see how fast
it is. Super fast. And these are things you want to think through. So it's almost like any project. You want to see all of the components of the project. You want to see the end. You want to see where you're going and the impact you're making, or the experience you want, like you said, you want to give. And then when you're prompting your AI, you really want to make sure that you're taking into account these things, like you said, a facilitator guide or a slide deck or
student workbook, so and what it's telling you is it's again just giving you the first pass at it. But what's happening in this whole field, people say, oh my God, it's going to replace me. No, because what happens now is you don't build the one size fits all types of courses anymore. Now in our tool here, if I said create a this class for a specific job role, I don't know who would be working with, but maybe it's an acting class or something, to get into character. It would come in and say, here's all the competencies, and then after that it would tell us what we needed for that specific. It would give us all the assessment things that we require. Then you ask questions about each one of those, and the questions you miss are a skill gap or a knowledge gap. So now I know what you're missing from a performance, and I can just lay out a personalized learning track
for that.
So instead of keeping sales reps in a class for 2 weeks, instead of earning $4,000 a day, I guess $1 million rep, 250 days, you can get them back out in the field. So what's happening is now 100 courses are replacing the one course, because they're micro classes, micro learning classes. And so that's the change that's going on. But, they're all this simple. So here, student guide, I mean, we pretty much, I'll just say student guide, it'll come out with it. but we're pretty much created everything we needed to sit down with a stakeholder maybe and say, look, here's the first pass, here's the slide deck, here's the course outline, here's the lesson plan. Let's see if we got a video yet. Now, this is the slower part. This is, so it'll take probably until we finish talking here to get the whole thing, but it goes out and searches for B-roll, and it pulls them in from Getty, pulls them in from iStock Photo. I think they may be the same by now, but anyways, and these are just spectacular tools.
Yeah.
If you went to my website, everything, let me take you to the AI Learning Alliance org.
Let's do that. We'll spend another, 5-10 minutes here, if you're good, and then we'll wrap up.
Sure.
I could stay on this forever, but we're going to have you back on. You know what I mean?
Well, I'd be happy to do that. I'm just trying to give you. You see this young lady here? She's an avatar. This was created by that tool in video. So
yeah. It's unreal. You would never know. Did NVIDIA do all the B-roll?
Except for that one.
Did it do all the editing as well?
So, we needed something that says, okay, we can not only teach you all this stuff, but we even have a job board of jobs.
Okay.
And so cool. People can join, if you're not in the learning and development role, you can join for $99. So learning and development $149, and there's corporate pricing, but it's all this free training. And guess what's going to do the training on the micro learning? MyBot. So
how cool is that?
Yeah, so it's it's got my knowledge of technology in there, and so it's going to be just like the only problem we have was AWS's servers being down. I sounded like I had helium voice, so it's
that was a big deal. It took out a lot of people.
All right, so it's back there. Hi, Joe. You're in front of a group of folks interested in technology. Can you tell us a little bit about what Vibe Coding 3.0 is about?
Thanks for inviting me to share. Vibe Coding 3.0 is a new way of designing AI, so it doesn't just answer questions, but actually relates to people with curiosity and creativity. Instead of focusing only on logic and speed, it's about building an emotional architecture into AI so it can mirror our curiosity, adapt its tone, and help us discover meaning, not just facts. Imagine an AI that feels more like a thoughtful partner than a search engine, one that asks, why does this matter to you, and helps you connect ideas across different fields. That's the heart of Vibe Coding.
So I'll shut them off. So shut me off.
Yeah, that is so cool.
What I did is taught it to be creative. So I said things. This went on for days between me and ChatGPT as a collaborator.
Yeah,
I said we need help brainstorming, and that's a trigger word for it. And I said, for instance, here's what we have trouble with as humans. If you sit a human down in front of a blank sheet of art paper and tell them to design a fall fashion of clothing, they're going to sit there in frustration. I said, because that's not how the brain works. However, if you put pictures of shirts or dresses, whatever it is you're doing all the way around the board, our brain will cut and paste shoulder, neck, back treatment, skirt, whatever it is, and it'll come out faster. I said, that's the way our brain works. So you get it. Then we went on to another one. I said, another thing that we can't do as humans is to think outside the discipline we're in. So we can't mentally take scooter wheels and put them on luggage to solve a problem, which is why we carried heavy luggage around for decades. So you need to be able to go cross discipline. So I kept going on and on like this. And I said, now do you get how to be creative? And it said, I think I can do it. and
Wow.
it gave me the code, and I put it in to my bot. So all you have to do is say, let's brainstorm on something,
Oh,
and
wow.
it'll teach you, it'll have you looking across things. Like, I have a partner here who's got a water business, who's lugging these heavy water things up and down stairs. And the thing gave me, do you want to, gym, kind of a routine to build the strength, or how about an exoskeleton? I go, what? And it said an exoskeleton. And I said, what is that? And it says it augments the powers of the legs and the arms, so you can do things. It actually lifts your legs as you're walking.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my God. And I look them up on Amazon. There's a whole bunch of them. I never
Yeah, I started seeing those.
Yeah. So it's
That's
like
crazy.
it gets you out of it helps you think outside the box.
Yeah.
I'll go quiet so you can answer.
Yeah, you're doing good. I mean, I get so excited about this as it advances. The one thing I've seen is that you still have this copy and paste, that we still have to do on AI. And I know down the road here, that's not going to be the case. And I foresee here, as I've been using for vibe coding, using Firebase or Cursor, I don't even have to write the code. I want to understand it, but it's writing all the code. And I'm just saying, well, you did this. I don't need you to do that. I want you to do this. And so learning to speak to it is a huge thing. And I think that's where, where you say the first thing you want to do is learn how to talk to it.
Right. Prompt engineering. And then, and then I teach you how to build the chatbots, I got to use the proper terms. The difference between a chatbot and
an agent.
AI agent is simple. Chatbot's like a parrot. What you put, it gives it back, right?
Yeah.
The AI agent picks up on patterns and can construct answers. So I teach the people how to build a agentic AI agent, and they've done everything from building tour things to these games where they have to outfit a character in the game. What's the best way to outfit a particular character to win? They're all over the place.
Interesting. Yeah.
Those are the two key elements, I think, and you can do just about anything after that.
As we kind of wrap up here, I want to give your website again. So this is the best place to find you, eSourceU.com.
Yes.
So make sure you go do that. So for you that are watching, if this is your first video or your 100th, because I'm going to keep doing this. So, and we're just getting going, which is fun. Go check out Joe at eSourceU.com. Make sure you follow along at Get a Vibe. We're going to put a ton of resources on there as well. And my goal is to learn as much as I can, as quick as I can throughout this. Joe, is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up? Anything you wish I would have asked?
No, I think we covered a lot.
Yeah.
The only other question I ever got was, where do you see it going in the long run? And
yeah,
I know the projects we're working on. I'm going to be vague, but imagine you had a special unit of military go into on a mission, and they're able to talk to a whole situation room of people, from extraction to politics to whatever you can imagine, and they're all AI agents. Now imagine that in the age of robotics, traveling along with you.
Yeah. I have a son who's a Special Forces Marine, and so that's something that could serve alongside, right? I don't think we're that far away.
No, so it can be done. It can be done. So I see us having a whole different companionship, and I'm sure that's going to be. The only other thing I would say is, don't believe what you are hearing about AI. Remember, it can only predict the next word. If a human connects that to a checking account and says, pay every invoice that comes in, somebody is going to send you false invoices and empty your bank account.
Right.
AI does not have that capability. A human has to make that connection. So blame the human if it does something bad.
I like that because it's a program, right?
Yeah. And AI is not going to take your job. It's people who know AI
I've heard that.
are going to replace the people that don't know it, just like
Yeah.
when computers came out and everything else in our technology passed.
Yeah. Yep. So get after learning it because you're going to need it. Right.
You got it.
Joe, thanks a lot for being on here. For everybody that's watching, if this video served you, please share it with somebody that you know that's going to benefit from this. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can follow along. The QR code that you see up in the far corner there, you can just scan that. That'll take you right to the YouTube channel. And we're grateful that you've been a part of this, and go make it a giant day. We'll see you in the next video.